Hello, friends. Like today, I'm going to explore how we can use this JWT tokens and how we can implement in our project. So you can see, like this is the project which I want to apply the JWT token. So from beginning, I will tell. So you can see this is the page. So if you want to apply the JWT token, so what you can do, I will tell you what all steps we have to follow. So first thing, in any client it should be there. You can see if any client is there, and there will be client and there will be server will be there. So on the server side, actually what we will be doing, we will be generating the token. So there will be some of the steps we have to follow in order to generate the JWT token. So first, client, what it will do, it will uh, server, what it will do, it will verifies and issues the token. So if you'll see if you'll see, this will come to know, like first client will send request to the server. Okay, so what request it will send? It will send the username and password. Okay, and second thing what it will do, it will verifies and issues the token. Third thing, client, what it will do, client, it will send the token with every request. Like how many times you'll send the request, with every request it will send the token. And last thing, server, it will verifies the JWT. Token. So first thing, in the you can see like what all things I have implemented. I will tell you from the beginning. So this is my controller. Like I have used the pre-authorize. So what pre-authorize it will do, before the any kind of a login, it will. So you can, if you don't know about that annotations, so you can go and you can search into the ChatGPT also, like what the pre-authorize annotation it will do. Okay, so you can see it's a method level annotation is there. Pre-authorize, it's a Spring Security method level annotation is there. So it is basically used to check the authorization. You can, as a name, you can see like pre-authorize is there. So it is used to basically check authorization before a method is executed. So it decides whether a user is allowed to call a method or not. So it basically, what it will do, it will check the authorization before a method is executed. So it will evaluate the Spring expression condition, and if the condition is true, method executes. And if the condition is false, like 403 access denied, means that user is not properly authorized. So it will give the access denied. So you can apply this annotation @pre-authorize only on the method. So you can see here, only users with admin can call this method. Others will get access denied exception. Okay. So if we'll go into this, you can see it's a pre-authorized has any role, admin and user. So when you can use has any role, when you are having the more than one role like admin, user, then you can use the has role method. Or if you are having any one role, so you can use the has role and then you can define the admin. And this is the security, like my main application, nothing I have applied here. And this is the security config. So I have created the, you can see here I have created the configurations file, and in this I have enabled the web security and I have enabled the method security. So why I have enabled the method security? Because I need the security on the method level also. And you can see I have used the has role, like request matchers, everything, and I have created the bin. So what I have done, I have used this password encoder, because directly password we can't store into the database, correct? So we have used the password encoder into this. And now what I will do, I will just use this bin. So first I have to use the authentication manager. So directly I will not use. First what I will do, I will create one class like Jwt utils. Okay. Then I will use the private string Jwt secret. I will use the Jwt secret, and then I will use the private in Jwt expiry date. So when we will be using any kind of a token, so that token it contains some of the duration. So till when वो token कब तक valid होगा और उसके बाद वो expire हो जाएगा, तो we have to re-authenticate that token. So we have to use Jwt expirations in millisecond, and we have to give that token into that. Third thing, we have to give the public string get Jwt from header okay, and just we have to return in this return. And then we have to use the public string generate token from username. Okay. So these all methods we need. So what we can do, and we need the public boolean validate Jwt token. And internally we have to define the private then we have to return the keys dot HMAC SHA key for decoder dot base 64 dot decode, then Jwt basically when I will be defining, we will be using the JWT token. So that time we can go to this website jwt.io. Okay, and if we'll go to this JWT, you can see here it will be having the JSON token is there. So you can see here some dot is there. So what it's there, like in JSON, it will be having the some of the algorithm is there, and type of the JWT token is there, and JSON decoded payload is there. Okay, so basically JSON token, it will be containing the subject name of the token, who issued, what is the role of the token, and what is the expiry time. This all. JWT signature means if you want to validate secret key, so you can use from here, you can copy and you can use from the here. Okay. So what you can do, you have seen this, and you can go here, so I told if you need for just for applying, you can see here it's a valid secret key is there, JWT signature verification. So you just take this one, copy this one, go to the your and you can apply into this. Okay, and sorry, not in this, in this secret key you can apply. Okay, and this is the in what millisecond your token will expire. So what you can do, you can go here and you can calculate. So if you need more time, because if you are doing any kind of a development, so you don't want to re-authenticate every time the code, so you just go there and what you can do, calculate token in millisecond. So there will be calculator will be there, so you can use the calculator online, and token calculator. And if you need for 48 hours or 12 hours, so in millisecond, okay, so here you can calculate, it's telling 48 hours. If you calculate millisecond, it's not there, Or else you can just in ChatGPT, if you want, you can go to this and you can ask, I need JWT token in millisecond which can valid for 48 hours. So it's giving some of the time, so you can just copy this and you can paste in your, okay, so it's taking that. So after adding this, what we will do, we are here generating the token from the username, correct? So what we can do, we can take the string from username and then we can return the JWT, okay, builder. So we can use a builder pattern because we know like it's very complicated to you have seen like how many there were we have to set the subject name, issue date, expiry date, key, compact date. So it will be, if we are creating all the objects, so it will take more space and it will be getting more complicated. So directly what we can do, we can set the subject. Actually it's not taking JWT dot builder. So we can set the subject here, we can set the user name and who issued, like on which date we have issued this token, issued at new date, okay, and expiration expiration millisecond. Right. So after expiration, actually we can add the new date. We can add the new date, new date, okay, and it will take the system date. So what we can do, we can use this get time and plus JWT expiration millisecond, okay. and after expiration we can add the sign with actually when I have configured this JWT, so I can see we have not added the dependency in the pom.xml. So first step what we have to do, we have to add the JWT proper dependency. So what we can do, we can go to this dependency. So if you type JWT in GitHub, so you will get this URL. If you go down, you will get this. If you want, I can give you this link. So you can go down and you can see under the installation, you can see the Maven, and here you can see the complete dependency which you want. So what you can do, you can copy this complete dependency and you can go to this pom.xml. Okay, and then you can paste under the dependencies, you can paste this, and first step after pasting this dependency, you can upload this Maven. So down you can see like it's updating, resolving the dependencies of all the security related dependencies. And it's got resolved. So now if we'll go to again that security config JWT utils, so now you can see now that class is impact, it's generating and it's giving the. So what you can do, you have to use this builder pattern. So you can go and first thing what you have to do, you just set the subject. So whatever you wrote, you just paste. What you can do, or you can write from beginning like subject. I'm writing little bit fast because I already wrote. So username you have to give, like which username is there, username, and at which date we have issued the token. So issued at new date you have to give, and what is the expiration, okay. Under the expiration you have to give the JWT JWT expiration in millisecond. So if you'll hover this, you can see JWT expiration. So what it was expecting, hover again this one. So in this, like it's expecting the, what it's expecting, if you hover this, not this one, JWT expiration, if you hover this, it's expecting some of the date. Definitely it's expecting some of the date. So what you can do, you can give the date here in the format of date. So new date dot get time JWT expiration millisecond Actually, we have done one mistake here. So if first when you're starting, you can give the new date. Okay. And then you have to give the new date, get time plus JWT. So JWT expiration millisecond you can give here. Dot sign in with key. Sign in with key. So you can give like this. So this key, this method you have to write this method. Okay, and here like you have to write this method validate JWT token. So I am just returning this return JWT. Not here, just boolean I will be returning here, and here I am writing this method, this key method here. So here what you have to do, return the keys. Return keys dot. So here if you're returning the keys, so I can take from this, and here hmac sha key for decoders decoders dot base 64 dot decode. JWT secret. Okay. So this will be returning the JWT token. So now in controller what we can do, we can create one endpoint where we can do the successful sign-in. So first method what we can create for the login purpose. So what we can do is string login is there, and we can define the request body, because in the body we need the login like username and password. So we can give the request body and login request, and then login request. Okay, so here I am importing this. So this class I haven't created yet, so we can create it after this. And first we can take the authentication. Okay, and there is an inbuilt class which is authentication manager. Authentication manager. Authentication manager dot authenticate. Okay, this is the inbuilt class. So if we'll first import this one, and if we'll hover this, you can see if we'll do the hover authentication, it's an inbuilt class is there. It's extending some of the classes, so it getting the credentials details and is authenticated method builder class. So it's having several methods internally into that. And then we can apply the try catch. So if we'll go here in the authentication, so what this authentication manager, it will be returning the authentication manager, and it will be authenticating this authenticate, and it will be taking this new username, password, new username, password, authentication filter, authentication token. Actually we are here taking the token. Okay, so it will be taking the token, and it's taking the login request. So and get username. So instead of getting this error, what we can do, first we will create this login request. Okay, so what we can do, we can create one class login request. Okay, and in login request we can give the string username, string password. Okay, and for this class we can annotate with data, but Lombok is not there, so it's easy. Like what we can do, we just go here and we can start.spring.io, and we can add a dependency Lombok. Okay, so after the adding, if we'll go here, you can see here Lombok dependency. Okay, so directly you can take this, copy, go to your project, go in pom.xml, and you can see here nothing, it's there. You just go here, you can add this, and you can okay. So after adding this annotation, so I think we have to add here also, because here if you see, it's Maven compiler, it's there, compiler plugin is there. No, that is a Lombok. Okay, no need. So if something is there, I will come here and I will add. So if we'll go to this login request and turn now data, yeah, it's working. So what you can do, yeah, now everything is there. So if we go to this, get username, so that's what, if we're missing this camel case and everything, so if we're following the same pattern, we will avoid those errors. So if we're following this, so we don't have to remember what word we have written there. So if we'll go into this, you can see we are getting this get username and login request dot get password. So this authentication manager only, basically it will be holding all the details related to authentication. So this error is there, so actually we have to create her annotations. So we have to create here, not here actually. So we will be creating the authentication manager. Authentication manager, okay. And you have to auto wire this class. So after auto wiring, get password will be there. So now we will be, after returning this, we will be using the security context holder. So I will be explaining like why this all, basically this all inbuilt classes is there, so we have to use this in order to generate the token. So dot get context holder, dot get context, dot set authentication, and then authentication, okay. User details, user details is equal to authentication dot get principal, and you have to typecast this user details. User details, okay. And then Jwt utils dot generate token from user name. Dot generate token from username and then user details dot get username. So what you have to do, you have to return the string token. So actually this Jwt utils, in order to use, it's asking the, in order to use that you have to auto wire this, auto wire this. Jwt utils, Jwt utils. Okay, and it's asking to initialize bin found. So here we will be writing the @ post mapping and one endpoint I will be giving like sign in we have to create the bin. So for that we for every bin whatever we are creating, we have to go in this security config, and then we will be creating the public authentication manager, authentication manager. Authentication configuration. Return builder dot get authentication manager. Okay, so here if we import this authentication manager and authentication configuration, and you return the builder. Now we can go to the security config, and we have created the actually here we have created the manually, so we don't have to do this. What we can do here, what we can do, so if we are running this, you can see here logbook. Okay, no active profiles. Okay, it's telling no active profile. So what we can do here, instead of creating this manually, because in database already that username, password, everything is there, so what we can do, we can refresh this. So what we can do, if if that user details manager dot user exists, so user dot get username so that user details manager, if it's like it's telling if that user details manager details is not there, so you can create the user. Okay, and if that user 2 is not there, so create that user, and if admin is not there, create the admin. Okay, so here user 2 dot get username, here admin dot get username. So here if you'll see, here we don't have any error and we have created this also. So now what we can do, we can run this. So you can see this application got started. And if you go to Postman, and in Postman what we can do, in Postman we can add one new request here. Add request. So here what you can do, I am doing the login, like Jwt login. So for login, that is a post request, and here http localhost okay. Then and in body you have to pass the username and password. So here what you can give, username, user1, password. So here you can see it's unauthorized is there. So if it go to security filter chain, security config, security filter chain, here you can see like login. For login there is, for sign in there is no such line. So what we can do, we can duplicate this line. And what we can do, okay, and here what we can give, we can give the login, not login, sorry, sign in. Okay, sign in you can give. And dot permit all, because login anyone can log in, right? So just you can give the permit all. So now if we'll run this, so application got started, and send this one, unauthorized user 1, password 1. Actually my port number, I can check this port number. So if you haven't done any configuration, so you can see you have to do the configuration related to MySQL here, and my port is 8081, so I am running the application on the 8081. So it's not working. So I have done the little bit of search. Actually in the security config here, if you'll see here in the security config, we have to disable the, like we have to use the http.csrf. Abstract http configurer. Disable. So after disabling this only we can use. So now if we'll run this, okay, so if we are why we are disabling, actually we have to know why we are disabling the CSRF. So if you don't know, actually if you are basic or you don't know, so I am also learning. So what you can do, you can go to the ChatGPT and why we are disabling CSRF attack. So if you search, so user is already logged into website, the browser basically it sends the credentials. So because of that reason, okay. And here in JWT utils, actually we have not pasted the secret key. So what you can do, actually you have to paste the JWT secret key in the base 64 format, because here down we have written the we want as a base 64. So what you can do, you can go to the Google and here you can write the getting base 64 value. Okay, and you have to encode this. So you can paste here. And what you can do, you can take this, you can copy, and then you can paste this value here. Okay, then you can run this. So the application got started, but still we have to see this login, it's working or not. So still that login, isn't working. So guys, like I was checking with my error from long time. Actually, I have done one little mistake. What I have done, I will tell you. Like here in the database, actually in the database I have to recreate this table, because before I was using the table as a plain text, but we don't have to use, and we have changed in our code also, like we crypt encrypt we have used in our code. Here you can see, like password encoder you have used. So what I have done, I have deleted these two tables. Okay, I have just right click on this table and I have truncated this table, and again I have created this table by using this commands, these all commands. You can see I have created the tables, and then after creating the table, I just now I have run this application, and this you can see my application, it started on port 8081, and when I have clicked on this, so it will be giving me as a JWT based authentic token. So you can see, like when we will go to our mm, hello controller, so here you can see by this sign in we have already signed in, right? But if you'll use this admin hello, first we will use this user hello. Okay, and we will check we can access or not. User hello. Okay, if I am using this user hello, so we can't access, because now in body we don't have to pass anything. And user hello, I think it's a git mapping is there. Yeah, it's git mapping. So so if you send this, so I'm not able to access, because every URL is now secured. And if we'll access admin, no, if we'll provide this if we'll provide this authentication, where we have given this authentication for user 2 and password 2. Okay, user 2 and password 2, and then we will check. User 2, then password 2, and password as a password 2. user as a user to, here we have to give, actually laptop is little slow, so, and here if we'll delete this, so you just have to send and just check. So here if you click on user 2, so in what is the endpoint? Endpoint is user hello, that's it, user hello, not user 2, user hello. So if you click, you can see, if you click on user 1, okay, password it's incorrect, password 1. See here, you if you click on user hello, so for that we have given the user 1 password 1, user 2 password 2, role is user. So if you click on this, it's not, we can't access actually. First we have to log in, then only we can access. Okay, now it's a secured. First you have to provide the JWT token, then only you can access.